Hey guys, so I'm finally going to be making a movie review of The Lady of Heaven. I did see this the day it came out. I happened to have a day off and I was able to. I had to go to another state. It doesn't sound as bad as all that because it was just like 50 minutes just right over the border, but having to deal with city traffic was hell. So, but I finally got to see it. It was like me, and then an older lady came in. She was asking, she's like leaned over and asked me if I was here to see Lady of Heaven. I was like, yeah. And then like two more guys ended up coming in for my viewing, but I finally saw it. Well, start off, kind of get a summary of like the entire movie. It's about I think it takes place in 2012. I think that was the year. I think it was just when ISIS, that's it, came into, was gaining power. We see ISIS come to this village, and they purposely kill a bunch of men to try to obviously scare people into following, doing what they say. Of course, there's this woman who, obviously a follower of, sorry, I don't know which faction it was, but she was praying to like Fatima, and ISIS finds out, and they end up killing her in front of her son. I'm assuming it's like American-backed forces. Like I said, I didn't know anything about what happened in the Middle East. But yeah, there's this guy, obviously Muslim. He comes and takes the kid to live with him and his grandma, I believe. And his grandma, I think to kind of comfort him, because his mother died, started telling him about the story of Fatima. And so it switches between modern day and then obviously historical period. So that's kind of like just the broad what happened in the movie. Like on the, I guess the historical side, we see, we start out, we see Fatima and Ali, who is Muhammad's right-hand man. He's escorting her to, I can't remember the city, but he's escorting her to where Muhammad is, essentially, and they are attacked. I couldn't figure out at the time why, but I'm assuming as the movie progressed, it was because they knew that she was the predecessor, is that the word for it, of Muhammad, and they did not want that, and so they were trying to kill her. And as the movie goes on, Muhammad tells everybody that, Fatima is going to be predecessor. I at first assumed it was her herself, but it's pretty obvious it was her line, I guess. She had like two sons. Her sons would be the ones that pretty much inherit, the line or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much what the whole conflict was. They thought this other faction of Muhammad's followers thought he was kind of going nuts. They don't believe he's a true prophet anymore because he wanted his lineage to be passed on. And I think one of the things they said, at least in the movie, they didn't think that this was inheritable, this whole being the prophet was inheritable. And so, obviously, just the way the movie was shot, who you're supposed to view as a bad guy and who you're supposed to view as a good guy. When it's Fatima on the scene, it's very gentler music. Obviously, you're supposed to feel sympathy for her. You're supposed to feel, it's supposed to elicit a positive response, I guess you could say. And then when the other guys are on there, it's a lot, drums and stuff like that. A lot more like intense. Obviously, you're supposed to have a more like negative response to these people. And so, the same with the lightings. When it was Fatima and even Muhammad, it was more like brighter lighting, and then the other characters were more like darker. So, in terms of like the way they shot the movie, you could tell, who they wanted you to empathize with, I guess you could say. Like I said, I can't really speak to the validity of the story because I have know absolutely nothing about, what was going on with Fatima and Muhammad and all that. So I can't, say whether or not that was factually correct or not. But it does have action scenes. It was okay for, action-wise, if you're going into it expecting a lot of action. There were some intense moments. I could say kind of shocking. There was the one, beginning where ISIS kills some mother, lights the men on fire. We even see Fatima. She is pregnant, and she gets attacked physically, and she ends up having a miscarriage. And so that was kind of shocking. Trying to think if there's anything else. Kind of a patched together review, but it was kind of one of those movies that it kind of like flipped back and forth between two time periods that it's kind of hard to kind of really gather together your feelings on the movie. I did notice they wanted to have like Fatima be like an inspiration to obviously modern Muslims, because the kid, he's being taken care of by this woman who's telling him about Fatima, and then at the end of the movie, he had this boy that he was friends with. The boy gets taken by ISIS and obviously brainwashed into becoming a suicide bomber. The kid realizes that his friend is a suicide bomber and is able to talk him down by using the story of Fatima. And so, once again, it was a movie for me. I know nothing about this faith, this religion, the history behind it. So, I'm sure there are others that were raised in this religion that this was, life-changing for them, finally seeing something that represents them on screen. But yeah, so that was kind of my review of the movie. It was very, it was okay movie for me. So hopefully you liked the review. Yeah, but I did want to thank whoever let me know down in the comments that it was actually in theaters, or else I would not have known because my local theater was not showing it, and so I actually had to do a little bit of searching to find one that was actually showing it. So, but other than that, yeah, if you have any thoughts, let me know down in the comments below, and other than that, you guys have a nice night. Stay safe out there. Talk to you later.